You're looking for a new subwoofer, but you're terrified of wasting your money on hype. /N, you've heard the name BIC America, seen the F12 praised everywhere, but is it still worth it in 2026? That's the question we're answering today. /NI promised a brutal, honest review with no fluff. But here's what surprised me. This legendary budget subwoofer has a secret identity it doesn't want you to know. However, for its current price, buying it might be the biggest mistake you can make. /N for the best price, click the link in the description. /N, stick around because we're not just testing specs, we're tearing apart its reputation to see if the bones are still good. You see, the F12 is a fossil in the best and worst ways. It's been the king of the budget bass hill for over a decade, which is either a testament to its design or a sad commentary on the competition. /N, but here's the twist. Technology has moved on, and your expectations have probably skyrocketed. /N, therefore, testing this in 2026 feels like driving a classic car, charming, but you miss the airbags. /N, let's dive into the deep end immediately. The first thing you notice is the sheer size and heft. This thing is a brick, a 475-watt, 12-inch brick that looks like it escaped from a 2005 home theater catalog. The vinyl woodgrain finish. Let's just say it has a personality that screams, I will dominate your living room decor whether you like it or not. That's the point, right? You're not buying art. You're buying rumble. /N, therefore, let's talk about that rumble. The heart is a long-throw 12-inch injection-molded woofer with a heavy-duty magnet structure. It's powered by a BIC amplifier, which is a fancy way of saying it's efficient and surprisingly powerful for its class. The specs claim frequency response down to 25 Hz. Spoiler alert, it tries. It really tries. /N, but here's where the first curiosity loop slams shut. That 25 Hz number. It's more of a polite suggestion than a guarantee. Think of it as the subwoofer whispering, I think I can, at the bottom of a very deep hill. /N, therefore, in my real-world testing, the usable, impactful bass really starts rolling off around 32 to 35 Hz. For movies, that's still plenty for most explosions and sonic booms. For music, it's a bit like a drummer who only knows one volume, loud. /N, let's hook you again. What about setup and control? This is where the F12 shows its age like a professor using a chalkboard. You get a volume knob, a crossover dial, and a phase switch. That's it. No app control, no room correction, no fancy DSP. In 2026, that feels bare. /N, but is simplicity a bad thing? /N, therefore, for the plug-and-play user, this might be a blessing. No menus, no headaches. Twist the knob until the pictures stop rattling off the wall. Speaking of rattling, the build quality is a tale of two cities. The cabinet is rock-solid, braced, and avoids nasty resonances. But the front grille, it's a glorified piece of felt on plastic pegs. One good bump, and it's singing its own buzzy little tune. /N, time for joke number 1. Setting the phase switch is like trying to tune a radio with oven mitts on. You just turn it until the bass asterisk feels right, and then you pray. /N, let's rehook. So it's big, simple, and loud. The million-dollar question, does it sound good? The answer is a fascinating yes, but the BIC F12 has a signature sound. It's not neutral, it's not refined, it's aggressive. It wants to be felt in your chest. It excels at the boom and crash of home theater, Transformers fighting. Perfect spaceship landing. You'll feel the landing gear. /N, but switch to a nuanced acoustic bass line or a deep, textured electronic track, and it gets a bit muddy. It lacks speed and articulation. It's the sonic equivalent of a friendly bear, powerful and impressive, but not exactly graceful. /N, therefore, the deep dive act is all about context. Who is this for? If you are building your first home theater on a strict budget and your primary goal is movie impact, the F12 can deliver a shocking amount of it. It will shake your couch and startle your pets. Mission accomplished. /N, but if you're an audiophile, a critical music listener, or someone who values integration and subtlety, you will be disappointed. This subwoofer doesn't blend. It announces its presence. /N, let's introduce another layer. How does it compare to the modern competition? This is the contrarian snapback. In 2026, the sub-$500 market is fierce. You have brands like Monoprice, Dayton Audio, and even some surprising Amazon offerings with features like wireless connectivity and basic room ec. \n, the F12's one-trick pony act is looking tired next to these more versatile players. \n, but the F12 has one legendary advantage: reliability. These things are built like tanks. There are forum posts from 2010 of people still using theirs daily. That's not nothing. Therefore, you're potentially buying a decade of service, which is a powerful argument. \n joke number 2. This subwoofer is so reliable, I think the only way to turn it off is to unplug it and hide the cord. The power switch is merely a suggestion. \n let's create a new promise. I said I'd reveal its secret identity. Here it is. The BIC America F12 isn't really a high-fidelity subwoofer. It's a Feelies generator. Its job isn't to reproduce sound with pinpoint accuracy. Its job is to translate audio code into physical sensation. It's a transducer for your body. Once you view it through that lens, its shortcomings make more sense and its triumphs are clearer. \n therefore, if you want to feel the Death Star exploding, it's a champion. If you want to hear every detail of a stand-up bass, look elsewhere. \n now, the elephant in the room, price. Here's where my title earns its keep. Don't waste your money if the price isn't right. The F12's value is 100% tied to its cost. At its original street price of around $200, it was a steal. An undeniable no-brainer steal. \n, but in 2026, with inflation and market shifts, if you see it for over $300, stop. Just stop. That is the waste. \n at that point, you are paying a premium for legacy, not performance. Modern alternatives will run circles around it for the same money. \n therefore, the resolution of our story hinges on a number. What's the magic price? You'll have to check the link below, as prices fluctuate daily. But my rule is simple. If it's not under $250, your money is better spent elsewhere. \n joke number 3. The crossover dial goes up to 128Z. Turning it that high is basically inviting the subwoofer to try out for the lead singer role in your system. It never gets the part. \n let's talk about placement, because this sub lacks any correction. Where you put it is critical. Corner loading will give you maximum boom but also maximum mud. It's a trade-off. Experimentation is key. This isn't a set-it-and-forget-it device. It's a set-it, listen, move it, listen again, and then maybe forget-it device. \n, but when you find the sweet spot, it can be satisfying. \n therefore, the final act of our review is the verdict. The BIC America F12 in 2026 is a product out of time. It's a legend that hasn't quite been dethroned, but is definitely sitting on a very wobbly throne. It represents raw, unadulterated power over finesse. It's for the home theater enthusiast on a tight budget who prioritizes impact above all else. \n, however, for nearly everyone else, music lovers, gamers seeking precision, those with modern aesthetics, or anyone who wants features like app control, this is not your subwoofer. The world has moved on, offering more nuance, more control, and better integration for similar money. \n joke number 4. The BIC F12 is like that friend who is great for a loud party, but you'd never bring to a wine tasting. Fun in the right context, but you have to pick your moments. \n so, what's the final call? Don't waste your money on the F12 at an inflated price. If you can snag it for a true budget price and your needs align perfectly with its brute force strengths, it can still put a smile on your face and a vibration in your floorboards. It's a testament to a simple, effective design. \n, but if your budget has any flexibility or your needs are more varied, there are better, more modern tools for the job in 2026. The curiosity loop closes here. The F12 is not a bad product, but it's no longer the automatic choice it once was. The landscape has evolved. \n therefore, your decision is clear. Define your needs, check the current price, and weigh the raw power against the lack of polish. For the absolute best price on Amazon right now, whatever it may be, click the link in the description below. That's where you'll find the real-time deal that makes or breaks this classic. Thanks for watching.